each other. You played the games of blacks against Latinos, Latinos against working class whites. It's time for us to occupy Wall Street, occupy Washington, occupy Alabama. We come to take our country back to the people. Martin Luther King is not a dead monument. Martin Luther King is a live testimony. They shot down the dreamer, but they didn't shoot down the dream. Before he died, he had children, and his children is in Washington today. He taught us to stand up, and we come to stand up in his name. There are those that have tried to act like we had gone asleep. And there's no reason that we could not understand the confusion. When you look at the fact that people are talking about states' rights again, they want to take away our vote in 34 states, talking about voter ID, talking about ending early registration, ending early voting. They want to honor Dr. King and revoke the Voting Rights Act at the same time. You can't kill the Voting Rights Act and honor Dr. King. You can't unemploy people and honor Dr. King. We will not let you make a mockery of what Dr. King stood for. Dr. King did not stand for the high and mighty. He stood for those of us that were cast out and cast back. And we are coming up front today to tell you, just like Dr. King went and put the wind behind the backs of President Kennedy and President Johnson to get a Civil Rights Act and a Voting Rights Act, we come to put the wind behind the back of President Obama to get a Jobs Act for the people of this country. Reporter said to me, Rev Al, is this about the election? No, this is about our survival. When you talking about you gotta cut Medicare and cut Medicaid, when you talking about in order to balance a budget, you created the deficit by giving tax cuts to the rich. You created the deficit by giving loopholes to the wealthy. You created the deficit by letting people outsource jobs. Now you want us to pay for the jobs that you sent abroad. You want us to pay for your loopholes. You want to go into our parents' Social Security. When you mess with our Social Security, this is not about Obama, this is about my mama.
Yeah! Woo!
So we come today to begin a winter of struggle. We are going to call on 25 cities to march on the same day. And we're going to march to the legislators in 25 cities to let them know that we will not allow you to vote against these parts of the job bill, or we will vote to put you out of office. We want those in the Senate and those on the sidelines, even some of these bulldog Democrats, to understand if you can't stand up for the unemployed, we're going to vote to make sure you join the unemployed. Occupy Wall Street was a mob. Occupy Washington was a mob. They're not a mob. They are saying what we're saying, that you cannot act like this country is your playground while single mothers can't take care of their families, while you send us to schools that don't have enough money to give us the teachers that can teach us. Then you want to demonize teachers and act like teachers that try to help our children. Some that have to go to school with no breakfast in their bellies, and the only one with a smile in their face is the teachers at the front of the room. You want to cut the teachers, you want to cut the firemen, you want to cut the policemen, you want to cut the municipal workers, and while you take care of your tycoons, we are telling you, look at the mob today. We just getting started. So we're going to march. There are many of our leaders that will speak to us at the program when we come back. I want us to march orderly. Don't bunch up on each other. Stretch the line out. Let all them helicopter newsmen see us stretch from Lincoln and Washington all the way to Martin Luther King. We come to put the world on notice. There's a new address in town. We used to march to Lincoln Memorial, but as of tomorrow, we got a new address. We got a new monument. A man that was born in the back of the bus, but he kept on marching till he brought us from the outhouse to the White House. We got a new monument. We have a new address. We don't bow our heads. We don't bow our heads. We ain't scratching where we ain't itching. We ain't laughing at where it ain't funny. Pull your shoulders back. Lift your head up high. Let's demand our rights. We're Dr. King's children. We're Coretta King's children. We're not going to bow down. We're not going to bend. We're not going to buckle. Stand up, America. Stand up, America. Stand up, America. Are you ready to march? Are you ready to march? Helping to lead us to the King Monument today. You that study scripture know that it goes from one generation to another. That every time God called one, there was always the next wave coming. Didn't stop when Abraham went on to Isaac. Didn't stop when Isaac went on to Moses. Didn't stop when Moses went on to Joshua. From generation to generation, we're going to keep on marching. And we're not going to stop. Martin Luther King promised us, even though he may not get there, we get to the promised land. We're just putting the president in the White House. That's not the promised land. That shows we can get there. We're not there until every well-blooded American has equal protection under the law and has equal opportunity. We're not there as long as you can execute men like Troy Davis on no evidence that would stand up in a sane court. We're not there as long as 1% control the most. But we're still going to keep fighting. And that next generation is going to help us to go do that, to help lead this march with us. I bring you to say a few words as we line up and head to the King Monument. I bring you the oldest child, the heir to Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King III.